My name is Avery Peters. I live in Stratford, Connecticut. We're going to be making Irish soda bread for you. We use all-purpose flour, honey, granulated sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, eggs, butter, raisins, and buttermilk. It makes 2 loaves. So what we're gonna do is add all of your dry ingredients together, minus the sugar. I am using 1.7 pounds of flour. So the baking powder is 0.034 of a pound. Baking soda is 0.022. Salt is 0.015. And with all of your dry ingredients, you're gonna wanna whisk all of them together so everything is incorporated evenly throughout the flour. For our wet ingredients, we're gonna whisk together the eggs, raisins, and buttermilk. It's okay if it's not completely melted. You're gonna be whisking everything together anyways. I used 0.482 pounds. And for the buttermilk, 1.2 pounds. You can buy buttermilk at grocery stores. Stop Shop has them. They're with all of the milks and the creamers. So we're just gonna whisk this together really quickly and then add the honey and the sugar. Now we're gonna add our honey, and we use 0.097. We only use 0.1 pound of sugar. The honey makes it a little bit sweeter. Whisk all this together. Now this is kind of going to be like a muffin batter. We're going to fold in the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, and then it'll come out a little bit wet, but then we add more flour when we shape the dough. It's easier just to mix by hand, because if you use a mixer, you might overmix it and you won't realize until it's done, and after it bakes, it's really hard and it's not as tasty as if you mix it by hand. I'm gonna add about a third of the dry ingredients. Just make sure everything is incorporated. And we're gonna add another third of the flour. So now it's starting to look like a muffin batter, but once we add the rest of the flour, it's going to all come together in a nice dough. You don't want to overmix it, so seeing a little bit of the flour on the bottom is okay, because we're going to mix in the raisins. With the raisins that we soak them in hot water to get all the flavors out, and it makes the dough really moist and overall delicious. You could always soak the raisins in like a drambuie or any type of flavored alcohol. Gives it a little extra flavor, but when we're making this for other people, we like to just keep it simple and make sure you really get the flavors of the raisins in there. We use about 0.4 pounds of raisins, but it all depends. You can add caraway seeds. You don't have to add in the raisins. Traditionally, the Irish soda bread is only flour, butter, salt, and buttermilk. But since we're making a sweet Irish soda bread, we have the sugar, the honey, the baking powder, baking soda. I'm gonna weigh out how much dough I have, and we scale it out to 2.2 pounds. We're gonna use 2 parchment papers on the sheet pan so the bottom doesn't get burnt in the oven. Just gonna shape it into a ball. So here is our finished product. You can like break it off into pieces or cut it up into slices, and yeah.